Hello, everybody. This is Jeff with Fluent American checking in. I hope you're having a nice weekend. Today, for this video, we're going to be looking at words that have the L sound at the end of them. And of course, if you have other questions about pronunciation and things like that as we go through, be sure to let me know. You can leave a message in the chat box. I have it open on the side, so that way, if anyone has any questions, I'll do my best to answer as quickly as I can. But let's just some quick, reminders about the L sound. There's a couple different ways to pronounce the L, as I'm sure you're already familiar with, but just to kind of review them, the most basic way to pronounce the L, often called the clear L. Thank you, Rod. Or like the light L, is that you're gonna have the tip of your tongue touch right where your front tooth and your gum meet, so the top of your mouth, right around this height, and it sounds like la. And then a key thing too is also make sure that the back of your tongue is down for that sound, so that way lots of air can get through. So again, la. Now, another L sound, and one that we're going to be talking a lot about today, is also the dark L sound. We have some videos that mention that as well, and I'll try to leave them in the comments and the lesson details a little bit later. But for the dark L sound, this is usually going to appear either in the middle of words or at the end of words. So again, like our discussion today, it's going to be pretty important. What you're going to be doing for that dark L sound is actually kind of raising the middle and the back of your tongue, but lowering the front of your tongue. So instead of sounding like la, like in a word like luck. Take another word. So for instance, a word like wallet. Okay, so you can say wallet. Okay, wallet with a very clear light L. Wallet, lit. You can kind of see my tongue. Lit. You can see it flick. Or you could pronounce it more with a dark L. Oh, thank you, Rod. I really appreciate the comments. I really do appreciate that. You can also pronounce it with the dark L sound, and where you're lowering that front of your tongue, but just raising the back. So instead of saying wallet, you can also say wallet. Especially if you're saying it faster. If you say it slower, you're more likely to pronounce the L like wallet. But if you say it faster, like wallet. In those types of situations, you're kind of just, again, raising that back, mid-back of your tongue, lowering the front. And we'll take a look at lots of other examples of this too, as we talk about this L sound. So one of the things is that, when we go through these words today, you're going to see that we have a couple different spellings, but the spelling isn't actually going to do a lot to affect the sound. A lot of these, again, are going to have kind of like these dark L components, or you can pronounce it with a light L as well. So for instance, the first word here, people. You can say people, you can do that, where again, that tip of your tongue making contact with the top, but you're much more likely to hear it pronounced with a dark L, where again, the back of your tongue is high, front of your tongue is down. Pull. Almost sounds like pull, like the verb, like to pull something, like P-U-L-L, pull, which again means the back of your tongue is high, front of your tongue is down. I bring up this word in these examples, and part of the reason why I even made this video is because I've been working with some students recently who have been doing a lot of like pull, like a sound like that, like people. But notice it's not going to be that pull sound, it's going to be more pull. So again, what's the difference? Back of the tongue's higher, front of the tongue is down. If you find that this is a tricky sound to do, really hold that tip of your tongue down against the bottom of your mouth as hard as you can and push really hard. Pull. Other things that can be helpful for this as well, if this is still a tricky sound for you, you can also have the sides of your tongue, so again on the left side and the right side, you can have them make contact with the top of your mouth. Yeah, right, exactly. So it's like saying people. Exactly. It's just combining those two words together. That's exactly the sound you want. And if that pull sound is still hard, again, you can have the sides of your tongue touch your top teeth. It's like pull, people. So again, it's not people, it's people. It's not people, it's people. You can see this with our next word as well. Sample. Also make sure you're holding that M sound long enough. Sam. This is also kind of a tricky word too. We've talked about this in other videos. If you look at our ah sound plus our nasal, I'll try to remember to include that in the notes as well. But when you have this ah sound that's followed by a nasal, it's going to break into two parts, like am, Sam, Sam. So it's like the ah sound, but it's gonna slide back slightly more because of this M. So it's gonna also then add a breath out of your nose before the M. So it's like am, Sam, sample, sample. Just like Rod posted there. Sample, just like that. And of course, typically one of the first words people learn in English, apple, apple. It's the same idea, ah sound, but you don't need that nasal anymore. Apple, apple. If the ah sound is a little bit difficult for you, I really suggest a couple of things. Make sure your mouth's wide enough. Also, the front of your tongue is down, back of your tongue is down, middle of your tongue is high. And in fact, when I say ah, look at my mouth. You should be able to see the middle of my tongue. Look how visible the middle of my tongue is. Make sure that it's the same for you. You know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, that the middle of your tongue is high. If you're seeing more notice the difference. Now my tongue is down. Versus Just compare those two different sounds. Okay, so for that ah sound, you really need that middle of your tongue a lot higher. Apple, apple. And so again, one last time for these three words. People, sample, apple. Those are your three examples here. Let's take a look at our next group. So again, these are all ending on pull endings with PL. Next one, let's take a look at BL sounds. So for instance, our first one here. Able, able. So quick notes about this A sound. It's going to feel a little bit contradictory, but my suggestion is open your mouth, but try to raise the front of your tongue. It's going to be difficult because, you know, that tip of your tongue, your tongue's connected to your lower jaw. So when you open your mouth wide, your tongue wants to go down too, right? So kind of fight that a little bit. So it's like A. Look how wide I can try to get my mouth, and I'm trying to pull that tip of my tongue up as best I can. It's hard. Able. See that movement, okay? Notice that movement in my jaw. Then at the end, your lips kind of tense and pull a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Thanks again, Rod. It's like able. How about our next word? Flexible. Just a quick note that I in the middle is going to take a schwa sound. Okay, it's going to get reduced. It's like flex. The quick sound. Just notice how relaxed your mouth is. You're not doing much. It's just I'm just relaxing my mouth and raising the middle back of my tongue. You can lower the front of your tongue for that sound, flexa. But the key word, part of this word is the first syllable. That's your stress, like flex, flexible, yeah. And for that A sound in able, just a quick note, it's the same as the first letter of the alphabet A, the letter A. Okay, but for flexible, again, stress is on that first syllable, flex, and then everything else is reduced and said quickly. A bull. And again, in case if you remember from last time, we said like people, the pull sounds like pull. Same thing here. It's going to sound like bull, like the animal, bull, bull, flexible. So again, it's not flexible, it's flexible. It's not flexible, it's flexible. And then same thing with the last word. Actually has all these sounds that we've talked about before. Rubble. So you have that schwa sound to start. So very relaxed again. Rubble. And again, bull. Okay. Just a quick note. You may hear my son in the background. He wants to hang out with us a little bit today. So again, these three words are able, flexible, and rubble. Able, flexible, rubble. How about our next group? It was something that we've already mentioned a lot for these sounds, these sounds. So again, first word, full. It's not full, it's full. For this sound, again, it's the same idea as we've already talked about. Back of your tongue, high, front of your tongue, down, uh, full, full. These other words we've already discussed. Pull, pull, or bull, bull. And like I said before, these are all cases where the dark L is going to be much, much, much more common than the light L. So you're less likely to hear full, where you get that strong L sound. You're less likely to hear pull, that strong L, and you're less likely to hear bull with that strong L. You're more likely to hear dark L's. Full, pull, bull. Since we've already talked about a lot of those sound groups already, let's take a look at our next group with the DLs. Okay, so for instance, the first one, handle, do. So it's not duh, it's do, do. Okay, handle. And notice again, you have this ah sound followed by another nasal, the N. So again, it's going to do like and, like we mentioned earlier. Okay, handle, handle. Rod makes a note about the relaxed vowels, like for instance, like that schwa sound, tend to be more difficult. And that's not. I don't think it's just for Brazilians. I think it's true for a lot of Romance language speakers, my Italian students, my Spanish speakers, and other groups as well. Even like Russian speakers and, for instance, Mandarin speakers. You know, I've had students from many language groups that tend to struggle with this. You know, it sounds easy on paper, right? You hear that, oh, it's relaxed. I don't need to do a whole lot. But at the same time, getting those sounds just right is really, it can be difficult. And it's also really important. English, you know, I really can't emphasize this enough. English really stresses vowel sounds. So if you're talking to people and they're asking you like, hey, can you repeat what you said, or what did you say, or can you say that again? Like if people have a hard time understanding you, there's a really good chance that the issue is the vowel sound. So my suggestion is really make sure your vowel is clear, and also make sure that your vowel sound is long enough, because what students tend to do is they say a word, but they rush the vowel sound. So for instance, to give you an example, this first word here, handle, handle, that and is the key part, handle. So it's not handle, it's not handle, it's handle. Give the vowel enough time to breathe. Let it really make sure it has enough time for people to understand it. Vowel sounds are super key. Hey Ryan, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Our next word here, pedal, pedal. This is kind of like a fast D type sound, so you don't need to hold on to that D super long. Do, do, pedal, pedal. So it doesn't need to be pedal. That's way too strong for a D. Okay, you can make it much, much lighter and faster. A lot of times for the fast D sound, you don't even need to make contact with the top of your mouth, honestly. You can just kind of raise and lower your tongue very fast in a lot of cases. It's like when I say pedal, pedal, I'm not even making contact with the top of my mouth. Pedal, pedal. Now I can say pedal, pedal, but it's not always necessary. I can also just say pedal, pedal, especially in like faster conversation. Rod also makes the point for comparing vowel sounds, comparing the long I's like with short I's. So for instance, E sound versus I sound. I mean, if you ask me what's the hardest vowel sound in English that my students struggle with, I'd probably say the short I sound, that I sound. So for instance, like in hit or sit, because I can't tell you how many students are doing exactly that. They're saying heat or seat instead of hit, sit. If that short I sound is difficult for you, it's definitely a sound you want to practice, but some quick tips. The very tip of your tongue is down. Okay, you can actually hold it against your bottom front tooth. You want to raise the middle of your tongue, but then have the very back of your tongue down. And then my last suggestion, make sure the sides of your tongue are making contact with your top teeth. It's almost like you're biting the sides of your tongue. Make sure you're doing that to get that I sound. If you're not making contact, it's very easy to get more of like an E because what's happening is the middle of your tongue is just going too high, and it's blocking too much air. And for this I sound, you need more air to get through your mouth. So that's why having the sides of your tongue touch your top teeth lets more air get through the middle of your tongue. But yeah, that's definitely a tricky sound for many language groups, that I sound, that short I. How about our last word here, settle, settle. So again, fast D sound, just like we saw in pedal, pedal, settle, pedal, settle. And again, when I say settle, settle. I don't actually need to make contact for the D. Okay, I can just do kind of like a very fast D sound, just raising and lowering the tongue super fast. Settle, settle, settle. Or I can make a little bit of contact very lightly. Settle, settle. So again, settle or settle. Either one of those can work fine. The key part really again is the vowel. The key part is the S sound. Se, settle. Take a look at our next group. Now we're taking a look at the k sounds, like a k, k, which can be made by letter K or the letter C. Okay. How about our first one here? Tackle, ko, ko. And again, this would sound like just like almost like a ko, ko. See, this is the second word as well. Fickle, fickle. Again, short I sound. We just talked about this. So again, make sure that sides your tongue, touching your top teeth. Fickle. It's not fecal. It's not fecal. It's fickle, fickle. And how about the last one here? Debacle, debacle. Notice that the first syllable gets reduced, so it's not usually going to be debacle. You may hear sometimes some people pronounce it that way, but especially like in fast conversations, normal speed, you can pronounce it with a schwa sound. It's like debacle. Hey, so Beta, thanks for joining us. We are still going. We're talking about L sounds. Now, if you have some questions on L sounds, I'll do also a quick review at the end. Right now, we're taking a look at k, like a k sound followed by an L. Okay, it's like ko, ko. It's like debacle. And again, so it's not usually pronounced as debacle. It's usually more debacle, debacle. Okay, that first syllable again getting reduced. And that's going to happen a lot when you see like a DE prefix, a DE before a word. In fact, we have another video that talks about schwa sounds at the start of words. So again, it's like debacle, destroy, destruction, demote, things like that. Okay, let's just do a quick review. Before we get to the review though, of course, if you like this pronunciation practice, you want daily pronunciation practice, definitely consider joining our Telegram group. Every day we do challenges, you make recordings, and then I provide some suggestions. Okay, so if you're looking for daily pronunciation practice, just a little bit, a couple minutes every day, just to stay sharp, just to improve a little bit, step by step every day, I definitely recommend our Telegram group at the $5 a month middle tier. And you can see more information about that at patreon.com/Fluent American. You can see notes about that in the details as well. But let's review all of our L sounds again. I'm going to go through this. If you guys have questions for me, be sure to let me know, because I'll slow down and talk a little bit more about it again. But our first one here, people, people. So again, it's not people, it's people. Pull, raising that back of your tongue, bring your tongue down, hold it down. Sample, sample. Watching out for that am, that nasal sound plus the M. Sample. And then that last one here, apple, apple. So those are with the PLs. Next one, A sounds, or bull sounds. So for instance, able. And again, my suggestion for that A sound, open your mouth wide, raise that front of your tongue. Able, flexible. Watch out for that schwa sound in the middle. Flexible. And you see that schwa sound again for the next word. Rubble, just more stressed. Rubble. So again, able, flexible, rubble. Those are your main ones there. Next again, so again, you don't want to confuse these with the oo sound. These are all sounds. So again, back of your tongue high, front of your tongue down. Lips straighter. You don't need round lips for this, so it's not ooh, it's So for instance, first one, full. Second word, pull. Last word, bull. So it's not fool, bool. It's full, pull, bull. Those are the sounds that you're looking for on that group. Next with our DL sounds. So for instance, handle, pedal, and settle. And again, you can also make those D's even a little bit softer with the fast D sounds. So for instance, especially for the last two words, pedal, and settle. So you can either say pedal, settle, or pedal, settle. Okay. Sorry again if my son's screeching is a little bit high. My apologies. Next one, the k sound. So for instance, tackle, tackle, fickle. Watch out again for that short I. Fickle and tobacco, tobacco, tackle, fickle, tobacco. All right, guys. Those were my main things I wanted to cover for today regarding L sounds at the ends of words. Again, our Patreon, I always recommend for our things. We're gonna have another quick note, another native U workshop towards. I'd like to do one, at least one more this month. If I don't get it in this month, then it will be at the start of January. Our native U sessions, in case you don't know, basically we take a look at lately for conversations between native speakers, and then we just try to identify, what words are being stressed, where's the linking, what's the intonation patterns, where are the thought groups, things like that. So start analyzing it in how native speakers speak, and then you can apply it to your own speaking as well. So our next native U session is going to be either towards the end of the month or at the start of the next year. I still haven't decided yet, but if it's something that interests you, be sure to leave me a message either in a comment or on one of the social pages. Also, of course, if you guys have other questions, I'll stay on for like another minute or two and just see if anyone else has any other questions. But some other highlights tomorrow, our next video that's going to be coming out, we're going to be focusing on stress in the movies, taking a look at a film, an older film that's not protected by copyright anymore. Looking at an older film and trying to identify, what are the stress patterns that they're using, which words are they stressing in speech. You also get to see how well can you identify what words people are stressing. Stress is obviously super important in English. English is a stress-timed language. One of the reasons, if you think your English sounds different than other native speakers, is probably one of the reasons is probably related to like intonation and stress patterns. So if you're curious about stress, you want to see how well you can identify it in people's speech, our video is going to be for you, and that'll be coming out probably some point tomorrow evening, my time. Beyond that, that's all I had for you guys. I always appreciate seeing you. So Rod, thanks for stopping by. Ryan, always good to see you. And Zabeda, I'm glad you made it as well. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, have a good evening, whatever time it is where you are. And I will see you in a future video. Oh, and of course, if there are future videos that you would like to see, maybe there's a topic that we have not covered or not covered enough for you, be sure to let me know, and I will get some content ready for you very soon. Cool. Thank you, guys. I will see you next time. You take care.